Okay, this is going to be the directions for A World Without Fish, Lesson 2. So this would be Wednesday's, September 9th's assignment. So our learning targets today are that we can find the gist of an excerpt, that we can determine the meaning and phrases, so we can use strategies to determine meaning that we talked about yesterday, like using a dictionary, using context clues, using the root words. We can use evidence from the text to answer those text-dependent questions. So looking up evidence, citing that evidence in our answers. And we can analyze how Mark Kurlansky, which is the author, introduces the problem of fish depletion in our book, World Without Fish. So those are our learning targets today. So the first thing I want you to do, you're going to open your book to page XII, which is Roman numeral 412. Looks like this. So open to that page in your book, and I want you to read from XII to XVII. You're going to start at one of the great thinkers, so right here by this picture of Charles Darwin, and you're going to go through all the way to the end of page XVII. So you're going to read that for the gist. Make sure you use your sticky notes. Write down as many notes as you can while you're reading that, okay? Once you've done that, always refer to your word catcher. Write down any unfamiliar words that you have while you're reading that on your word catcher. Please pause this video while you do that. Once you've read those pages, sometimes it's helpful to read them more than once. So if you have to read that section multiple times, that's okay. All good readers do that. Some words I wanted you to look at. I wanted to draw your attention to some words. I believe it was on page XV. On XV, there is the word biologically. So let's kind of break that word apart and try to figure out what it means. Bio is the prefix, and it means life. And then biology is like the study of life, right? So some words, when you come to words like that, I really want you to try to break them apart and see if you can figure out their meanings. The word biologically, so you have biological, biologically, if that suffix ical means related to or about, so biological means related to biology. So what do you think biologically might mean in this context? When the author describes organisms that are biologically close to us, what do you think he means? He just means that organisms are related to or like us. So you're going to come across other words in this text, like various. I'm going to see if you can figure out what that means. Evolved, evolution. So there's a lot of vocabulary words that I want you to be jotting down on your word catchers and trying to make meaning of those. Interconnected was another word that I came to that I thought you could figure out by using those strategies. So be writing those down on your word catchers. Then I want you to read that piece of text again. So XII to XVII. And you're going to do some more text-dependent questions. So this is where you read the question, you answer the question using evidence from the text. So make sure that you include page numbers. This does need to be turned in when you turn in your work next week. And then I want you to just, after you've done all the reading, go back to this first page of the introduction that looks like this, being a brief outline of the problem. And after you read about the ideas of Charles Darwin today, what do you notice about this page? So you might notice as you flip through the book that there is a quote from Darwin's book on each of the introductory pages. So that's going to be a common text feature that we're going to see throughout this book. So for homework again, I'm just having the students in the class reread that excerpt again, beginning on page XII, going through XVII, starting at one of the great thinkers and stopping at the end of page XVII. And I just want you to make sure you're putting your sticky notes right on the pages. We call those evidence flags, so that you can point to those important parts in your text. If you have any questions, make sure you email me right away and I will help you through it. Have a great rest of your day.